how do I just get my feet wet with learning how to sell my ideas to other people?
Yeah, great. That's a great question. We talk a lot about this right now internally, and what I would call that is change management. Because selling at the core, like when people say sales, a lot of people in their mind, they think, oh gosh, used car salesman, like twist your arm. Sales isn't about that at a professional level and not at a B2B level, internally or externally. What sales is like, hey, if Joel was going to make a decision based on some set of, parameters and influences and so forth, and he was going to go, A, like 40% of the time and B, 60% of the time, if I'm involved and I can sort of sway Joel a little bit and we flipped a coin, we had to make that decision in some kind of a modeling exercise, 100 times. Suddenly with my involvement, it's going to shade more towards A because that's what I want him to choose. Maybe instead of, being uninfluenced, he picks A 40% of the time if we simulate this thing 100 times. With my involvement, he picks A 55% of the time. That's a win, right? Because I can't make the decision for you. And by the way, if you feel like I'm trying to control you, you'll never do what I want you to do, right? But if I somehow give you information, I give you inputs and different things to sway you towards where I want you to go more often. That's what sales is about. It's really about influencing decisions, all right? And internally, a lot of influencing decisions is about change management, all right? So internal sales is really about change management because we've been doing this one product for 10 years in your example, right? So, good Lord, Joel, seriously, you can't really believe we're going to break this off and do some other product. Everybody in the whole company thinks about this one thing we've been doing for 10 years. We've always done it that way. How many times you hear we've always done it that way? And so if you think about change management, there's a couple ingredients. Number one is, you got to sort of build a coalition, right? It's got to be a little bit bottoms up. In other words, hey, 2 or 3 of my peers also believe we should do this. And that may take a while, may take them to lunch. You might talk about it with them. You might formulate what they need to understand to sort of be bought in. So you get a little bit of you got more than just you trying to do it. The second thing is you may need some executive sponsorship. So, if you're a CTO, your executive sponsorship is the CEO, right? And you probably need to soften that person up, socialize this idea a little bit. So the first thing they see is not some frontal assault and some big meeting about we should break off this product. Rather, it's sort of been socialized.